My name's Tony Winchester. I'm here on Tony's Talk Show, and I'm with my good buddy, Bobochet. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, Tony. How are you doing?
Man, I'm telling you, life just don't get no better. You know, it rained all last night, so it's not hot as hell here in Missouri. You know, what part of the country are you from?
Well, I was born and raised in New York City, but recently I actually moved to Kentucky. It's been pretty hot too, but I'm still getting used to it.
Wow. So in Kentucky, you got the humidity and the heat all summer long, right?
Basically, except randomly we'll get random snowstorms or random rain come in for like 30 seconds and then it'll stop.
Wow.
It's the strangest thing. I don't understand it.
Huh. Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, like when I first moved to Missouri, we had these damn tornadoes. You know what I mean? And wait, tornadoes in the ocean, hurricanes. Tornadoes, and they come through here. You know, it's pretty crazy.
Kentucky has them too, and it's the first time I've ever been on a hurricane or a turn. I think it's tornadoes.
Yeah.
A tornado watch or a tornado warning, because in New York you don't have the. In Kentucky they have this siren that goes off, and it sounds like it's something from a horror movie, and it goes off warning people hey, look, there's a tornado coming through, be careful. And you're like, well, what do I do? Do I go to a fallout shelter? What's going on? So I'm a city boy, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and you hear this siren coming from the heavens. You just freak out.
Yeah,
but it's crazy.
Growing up in the city, were you into sports or?
I like football, and I like a lot of baseball as well. But
right on.
That's what I normally grew up watching.
Well, what got you into gaming?
Gaming as a whole, or just sports gaming?
Gaming.
Gaming. Probably watching my brother play Resident Evil when I was younger, and have it spook me to no end. Watching my brother and my dad play it, to be honest. And then I kind of wanted I want to try this, and then try it for 2 seconds. Say, all right, I can't do this anymore. It's scary. And then that's what ideally started the whole thing with video games for me.
I was a pretty good athlete, and I played a lot of football. Did you play any sports?
I played some sports. I used to do. I did football, lacrosse, and I did track and.
Cool.
For football, what were you? What position did you play for football?
I played football. I was a linebacker and a fullback in high school, and then a fullback in college.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I was good for get the 3 yards. You know, that's about it. And a good blocker too. But and for a white guy, I was really fast. Hey.
See, for me, I'm an asthmatic, but for me, I'm very fast, but for only maybe I don't know, 30 seconds, and then then I got to take a puff of my inhaler. But for an asthmatic, I'm pretty fast too.
Yeah. So, when did you decide you wanted to be a streamer?
3 years ago. Similar, I think we talked about this too, but around the same time you started as well. So you started in December. I started in February of 2015, and it was something that I just kind of wanted to get into because I wasn't really doing anything. I was in a hard time in my life where I was going through just a bad, I guess, slump in my days. So all I did was go to sleep, eat food, and then go back to sleep. That was it. I didn't do anything. And I kind of wanted to stay active and actively, go out there and do something, keep myself, occupied.
Yeah.
And then I started streaming, and then somehow I'm here now. And here I am.
Yeah, I think that's cool as hell. And I've known you for a long time, and I've had the pleasure of watching your channel just grow and grow and grow and grow, and you're doing great, and you do a great job on it too.
Thank you.
You're one of the few streamers I actually watch. Okay.
Thanks, Tony.
Well, that's the truth.
That means a lot.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I still tune in to you and what's the name he goes by? Will the Thrill, right?
Yeah. That's my nephew.
Yeah, I tune into you guys every now and again because sometimes I'm housework and I'll see you guys on, or I'll see one of you guys on.
Yeah.
And I'll tune in and I'll watch, but it has been tough ever since I moved. I've been dealing a lot with housework. I didn't know that there's a lot of upkeep around here. I'm coming from being in city. I'm a city boy. Everything is like convenient. I can walk across the street, get all my groceries done. Here, you got to go in a car. You got to drive by some cows, some turkeys, and it's just a lot of work over here. But
Wow.
I haven't been able to catch a lot of streams lately, but I still try to catch you guys when I can.
Now, are you single?
I am. No, I'm not.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Don't play that. Tony, listen, I know this is going on. Don't play that. Yo, my girlfriend's going to get upset. It was a joke. It was a joke, I promise. No, I live with my girlfriend. She's another streamer as well on Twitch.
Wow.
I actually met her at TwitchCon, surprisingly.
Wow. Cool.
And I didn't expect that. We were friends. She was also into Resident Evil speedruns, and she was a part of my community, and we were just friends at the time. And we met up at TwitchCon, and then I was like, you know what? let me ask her out on a date and see how this works out. And then ever since there, it took off, and now we live together, and here we are.
That's really cool.
Don't tell her that I said I'm single. Tony, I swear, if you get me in trouble, I'm gonna end up heading back to New York.
Yeah,
it's like a 13-hour drive, so I don't want to do that.
I've never been to TwitchCon. Is it fun?
I think it's a fantastic convention because it's not about how these gaming conventions is about the games or Comic-Con. It's about the superheroes, the comics, anime, all that stuff. TwitchCon is about you and I. When we go to TwitchCon, it's about us. It's centered around us. We have panels that we can sign up for, that we can do. We can sign up for meet and greet, so you can have here's a RS Glory and Gold meet and greet at 11 p.m. and it'll be there. It's about you. And the people that show up are normally coming to meet other streamers, and you'll meet a lot of different people from different streams, different communities, and it's great. I loved it. I met a lot of my Twitch friends and other people that I've networked with on Twitch there, and we ended up kicking it off and becoming great friends. We went to a bar, and there was a story you told me because we were bullshitting before. Oh wait, can I curse on the show?
Yeah.
I can. I didn't know. I didn't know if I could. I was like, oh no, I should have asked you. This is one of the questions I should have asked you beforehand.
No, you can cuss all you want.
But we were bullshitting before this, and we spoke about an event that you did earlier or a while ago when you visited New York. When I visited California and TwitchCon, I was just completely drunk for 4 days.
Wow.
So I was there. We went to a bar, and then we were drunk for 4 days, and we had a good time. I met a lot of my Twitch friends there and a lot of viewers as well. And it's nice to meet people. And you've probably done this before because you probably went out and been to conventions too, right? Mm-hmm. So you've probably had people from your community come up to you and say, Tony, it's fantastic to see you. And, I'm such and such from your chat. This is crazy. And they probably gave you a hug or shook your hand or something,
Yeah.
Getting to meet your viewers or getting to meet people from your community, it's such a surreal thing because you actually get to see them. They're not just the username, they're not just RS Glory and Gold, they're not just Bobochet. They're actual people behind those usernames, and it kind of puts things into perspective because having 10 people watching your stream, for example, is having 10 bodies of people watching you.
Yeah. That
so
sounds really cool.
Yeah, so having 100 people watch you, Tony, you and I, we average roughly about 80 to 100, and think about that. Those are actual people who come in and watch you.
Right.
It's just that's what TwitchCon's about, and that's why I love going there every year. And if you can go, I would love to meet you.
Tony. Yeah, you make it sound like I want to go now. So
you should.
I really didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? I'm not even sure now, but it sounds like fun.
What were you saying? Sorry.
What's your favorite part about streaming?
Probably community building and just being able to hang out with people. I'm being able to meet people like you, being able to other streamers, other like-minded people who just enjoy the games that you're playing.
Yeah.
You play a lot of RuneScape. You have a lot of people who come in who love RuneScape, and you too. And it's just nice to be around people who share the same interests as you, and you guys can either play games together, talk with each other, and it's just basically just making friends.
Yeah. Well, I know a long time ago you played some RuneScape, and you were telling me that after you and I became friends, that you got back into it for a little bit. And I thought that was cool as hell. So Now,
I did.
what gamer would you say you're the best at? Of all the games in the world, what game do you think you're the best at?
I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Tony, because I categorize myself as a speedrunner for the classic Resident Evil games, and there was a time that I did hold record for some games, but I'm washed up. I don't really like submit anymore, and I don't compete anymore.
Yeah.
But I would probably say Resident Evil. I'm pretty good at. Like Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, I think I'm really good at in regards to where my skill cap is.
Yeah. My nephew Laban, I was telling him I was having a hard time growing our RuneScape clan, and he came to me and said, well, mate, have you ever thought about being a streamer or doing Twitch? And I said, what's that? So he sat me down at his desk and he showed me a couple of Twitch streamers. That's the first time I ever saw it or even heard of it in my whole life. And, like 2 weeks later, I was a streamer, How did you first hear about Twitch or streaming?
So I was around watching, I guess, Twitch during the Justin.tv era. This was basically Twitch before it was Twitch.
Right.
It was called Justin.tv, and basically it was the Wild West of streaming because anything went. It wasn't just like how strict it is now, but you had people streaming their everyday life, going to the grocery store. You had some people just streaming like whatever. Even some people streaming shows. And without getting like in trouble. It was like the Wild West of streaming.
Wow.
After a while, I believe the guy's named Justin. He noticed that there's a lot of gamers on this platform, and there's a lot of competitive gamers. There's a lot of speedrunners. Maybe we can make that into something else, and they turned that into Twitch, and then that's how Twitch became a thing. And I've been around since JTV or Justin.tv.
Yeah.
And the way I found out about it was because I was watching speedrunners do like Super Mario 64 and Resident Evil, and I found that through my brother who was watching it all the time.
Yeah.
Back in college, so I used to watch it because of him. But
that's pretty cool. Yeah. What do you think separates you from other streamers?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough, Tony. I think there's a lot of things that I would say other streamers do that I do. It's really hard to find a separation between other streamers. It's hard to find a truly unique streamer. But what I can say that I do, and I do it well, is that I interact with everybody. Everybody that comes in, I can say that I've said hello to at least once, regardless if I have 100 people or even 200 people, 500 people, whatever number. I can interact with each and every one of those people and still play the game. And I feel like a lot of Twitch streamers forget that it's Twitch interactive, not just I'm gonna play my game and forget about everybody else.
Right.
Otherwise, you should just go and you do YouTube. So that's why my thing is I like interacting with people. So everybody that comes into my stream, I always like to acknowledge them, say hello, and I do that to everybody, no matter how fast the chat's going. And if I miss something, I'll go through chat and I'll try to look for them and try to address whatever they're asking me or they're bringing up in chat. And I like to have individual conversations with each person. And I know that I do that very successfully.
Yeah.
Because people have even told me about it, that they haven't seen other streamers communicate the way I do. And, I'm talking always like a million miles a second. But I think that's one of those things that separates me from other streamers.
Yeah, people ask me for tips all the time. And my favorite tip is a streamer's job is to talk. So from the time you turn on the mic till the time you turn it off, you should be talking. That's my tip.
Absolutely agree.
Now, do you have any tips for some of the people out there who are just getting into streaming?
I can tell you the tips that I was told early on when I started. 3 things that'll help you grow, and if you stick with it, you'll get affiliate, you'll get partner. I can guarantee it. All you got to do is just keep at it. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. It's not going to be something that happens within a year or two. It's just something that will happen if you stick with it, and it's going to be a long and very tough road, but just stick with it. And the 3 things are schedule, consistency, and quality. For schedule, just have a streaming schedule, at least 3 hours to 3 days a week minimum. Consistency. Try to be a part of a gaming community. So if you're playing, like, for example, Tony always streams RuneScape. You know, he's a part of the RuneScape community, you know? That's him being consistent. You don't see Tony hopping over and playing League of Legends or CSGO, you know? Or for me, example, like I play Resident Evil and I do a lot of Resident Evil speedruns. You know, that's the consistency that I have. And then the other thing is quality. Make sure that your stream isn't, you know, hard to watch. Make sure that, you know, it's crystal clear. There's no lag. There's no buffers. And make sure that's there. And you'll be fine. Keep talking. Make sure there's no 30 seconds of dead air or quiet time. Just keep talking like Tony said, and you'll do fine. Those are the only tips that I would give to something.
Now, in your streaming career, there's, yeah, I'm sure that because you know you're getting big time. Okay, you've had thousands and thousands of people support your channel, or you know, over the years. But if there's a few people who like pop out in your mind that were big supporters and really a help to you. Now, I don't mean just, you know, they gave you money or donated or, you know, but maybe they were one of your moderators, or maybe they were just some guy who was there all the time and always had a nice word. I want you to shout out, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that come to mind that were a huge help for you.
There's 3 people that really come to mind that really helped me launch my career into streaming. And just because you're here and you know, you're on that list too. And I'm not trying to kiss ass, okay? I swear this is the truth. This is the honest truth. Tony, you've been one of those great supporters of mine, because early on, I you know, this is back when I was having maybe 5, 10, you know, 15 people in my channel. You know, you came in and you rated me, you hosted me, and a lot of your people that came in stuck around, and there's still some people who still from your community still stick around, you know, and that says something about, you know, who you are as a person and who your community, you know, like what they stand for and how they are, and they've definitely helped me outgrow. Especially early on in my Twitch career. So I mean, shout out to RS Glory and Gold.
Well, thanks.
Not trying to. No, it's the honest truth. It's the honest truth. You know, I went in there and rated you because somebody told me about you. Someone said this guy's a nice dude, and you know we should rate him. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go raid this guy. And the first thing Tony did, you know, not only did he yahoo it up and shout me out. He played a clip of me on his stream. And I know you've done that for a lot of other people too. But, you know, I think you said specifically that I treated one of your mods right. You know, I said hello and I was very nice to them. I'm trying to remember her name. I don't know if she's still a mod with you or if you still keep in contact. I believe her name was Miss Tickle. Do you remember her? Yeah,
I know exactly who it is. She lives in the UK and she's real sweet.
She's the one who set up our first interaction, because we had an interview like this before. Yeah. You remember?
Yeah.
We've had that 3 years ago.
You and Kiki came into our channel, and like I said, you were real nice to the mod, and I clicked on your name, and it showed me that you were a streamer. You know how you can click on the name?
Yeah.
So I invited you guys to come live on the show with me, you know, and I remember we sat there and talked for a long time, you know, I think we were using TeamSpeak back then, but and I was just impressed with what a nice, genuinely nice human being you are and what a great guy you are, you know. So whenever I was getting ready to log out, if I saw your name on the friends thing on the left-hand side of my screen, I would say, well, I'm going to go host that guy because he's a great guy, you know. And I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not really into the game, you know, the kind of games that you're into. Just like you're not really into the games I'm kind of into. You know, I'm talking about personally, but man, I really had a great time sitting there and bullshitting with you guys that night. I really did, you know, and it was just fantastic. And you've stayed true and been a great friend over the years, you know. So,
likewise, Tony. Likewise, it's, you know, I don't come for, you know, I haven't played RuneScape in years. You know, I used to play, and I told you this before. I used to play old school RuneScape back before there was even old school RuneScape. It was just RuneScape to me. Yeah. There wasn't no RS3, and you played around that time too. I played around then, you know, and trying to get into RS3 was just, it was like brain surgery for me. I couldn't get into it anymore because I felt like I was lost. But, you know, I don't come for RuneScape anymore. I come for you, you know?
I understand.
So I come for you as the person. I come for your community. You know, I also show up when I see Will every now and again, and sometimes I'll let Will know, like, hey, Tony, I said hi. You know, I'll type it in chat. But you know,
you're by far one of my oldest friends on Twitch, by far. Okay, because this was over 2 years ago when you popped into the channel and we started talking. You know what I mean? And I thought it was so cool. Like I said, I still stay in touch with Kiki. And he's a good guy too. So
I haven't had a chance to talk to Kiki in a while. Kiki's he's a pretty good friend. I just haven't had a chance to talk to him because not only like time zones, but also the fact that we stream around the same times, and it's just hard to catch up with him.
Yeah, he's in the mountain time zone. So
yeah.
Are you in Eastern or Central?
Well, I used to be in Eastern when I was in New York. Now I'm the same time zone as you, CST.
Yeah.
It's Kentucky time.
So who are the other two people? You said you had three.
So there's these two guys. There's this one guy who really where I kind of like modeled my stream after. There's two guys, Dudley and Rugamus, and the way you spell those names is Dudley, and then Rugamus is Rugimus. Trying to make sure I got it right. Yeah. But those guys, they really inspired me to be the type of streamer that I am today. Dudley, it was a very heavy influence to my Resident Evil speedruns. Same with Rugamus. I also like the interaction that Rugamus has with his community and the person that he has and how true that he stays to himself. Because there's a lot of streamers out there that kind of lose themselves over time. And I never wanted to be that person, Yeah. As they continue to grow, they kind of lose themselves. They become, a completely different person towards the end of it. I never wanted to be that person. I've always still wanted to be down to earth. I still wanted to be, a nice person. I still wanted to be a guy who interacts with my community, whether there's one person, 1,000 people. And I kind of have that foundation from Dudley and Ruggles who have inspired me, So it's just, I would say those guys are one of the biggest. And then there's also you, who I give a shout out to as well. Oh, you were earlier. You were earlier.
You used to do, and you still might, I don't know, but you did a huge amount of charity work in your streaming, and I just want to tell you, thank you from the world, okay, for, no, seriously, all the charity work that you've done and just all the really cool things that you've gone out and helped, you know what I mean? You've helped all kinds of different projects and this and that and this and that, and I just think that's cool as hell, So,
well, thank you so much. I still do the charity stuff. Right now, we're raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We're at about $2,800+ raised so far, and it's an all-year-round charity that I'm working with. And then we titled the campaign "Hope." We're trying to make it to at least 10,000 by the end of the year. We're 4 months into the charity, and we're already at 2,000. So that's insane. I just enjoy helping out other charities, especially mental health charities, because I feel like mental health charities don't really, when I first started at least, they didn't have a lot of presence on Twitch. And I'm not saying that other charities are insignificant, but there's been a lot of, for the kids charities like St. Jude's, Save the Children's. There's been a lot of charities like that, but there hasn't been that big of a presence on Twitch for mental health and mental illness. And it's one of the biggest things within the United States. And I figured, if I have a microphone and I have a stream backing me, then let's try to spread some awareness on, mental health as a whole and try to raise money for a good cause.
Absolutely. And I am accepting donations, okay? I need all the help I can get. On the mental health part I'm talking about. I think that's just fantastic. It's one of the things I always really respected about you, now, I remember watching your channel and you had this background and there was a bed in the background and I just thought it was so cool. There was a window off to the left and I think there was like an orange bedspread on the bed or something like that. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I thought that was like the coolest setup. I really did. You know what I mean? It's I really enjoyed that part of it, and it made me start being really conscious of what's in the background. And, at one time I had all these plaques and all these pictures and posters on the wall. And then we moved and now I haven't put them back up yet, but I'm going to, But I really think you do a great job when it comes to, your green screen and, all the different things that you do on it, and you put on a show like when people follow, or people subscribe. Oh my God, it's just so cool.
I try to give them a unique experience that no other people will do, because
Yeah.
everybody that I see a lot of other streamers, they'll get a follow and then they'll say, oh, thanks for the follow, or they'll completely ignore it, I never wanted to be that way. If somebody comes in and they follow the channel, that means they physically went and clicked that heart button and was like, you know what, I support what this guy's doing, I like him, and I want to catch him later,
Yeah.
and that says something. So I can't just say, thanks for the follow and then just leave him, just leave him be. I have to do a little bit more for the guy because he came in here and decided to say, I support this guy, I'm going to give him a follow. So that means a lot. So I always have to acknowledge it, and I try to put on a little show to thank them as well.
Yeah, well, you do a great job of that, let me tell you, and you make people feel special, and that's and it's from the heart, and it comes across that way too.
Thank you so much, Tony. Means a lot.
Like sometimes I wake up in the morning and I say I just don't feel like streaming today, or and sometimes I say, hey, I just don't feel like playing RuneScape today. I played it like 800 days in a row, and maybe a break would be nice. Do you get that feeling?
With Resident Evil or with streaming in general?
Either one. Yeah,
I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like every comes across that feeling in their life at some point, but I get that a lot. I've been playing Resident Evil 3 years. Just streaming it and speed running it, and it drains you. Some days you wake up and you're like, I kind of don't want to play Resident Evil. And you know what? I don't even want to stream today. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to lay in bed and just catch up on sleep, or spend time with some family, or just watch a show,
Yeah.
or just sit down and do absolutely nothing. Just sit down and just sit here.
And I'm so good at doing nothing. I really am. I'm like, I think I'm the world champion at doing nothing. I like just sitting there doing zero.
I might have you. I might have you beat on that one. I might give you a run for your money. See,
Yeah.
'Cause I'm pretty good at doing nothing too. But
What's your favorite color?
my favorite color, orange and green.
Orange and green. Right on.
I can't decide between the two, so I gotta always say those two. They're kind of like Halloweenish colors,
Mm-hmm.
So like green is like the skin of a zombie, and then orange is like the skin of a like the pumpkin skin,
Yeah, I think that's cool. Now, when you're not streaming, do you still sit and play Resident Evil?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, lately I haven't even been able to play many games that I want to play, because like I said, ever since I moved to Kentucky, there's been a lot that I have to do. I'm keeping up upkeep for the the house. I'm making
and
sure.
you're a farmer now, right? So I mean,
No, I'm not a farmer. I have the opposite of a green thumb, Tony. I can't. I don't know why, but even if I have like a little plant, I water it every day, keep it in the sun. Somehow it still dies on me. I still don't get it.
Well, them weeds grow. I know that. Okay.
I can grow weeds fairly well,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I can't grow anything. I have a black thumb, not a green thumb.
Yeah.
Everything dies when I touch it. But there's a lot of upkeep for like just living out here in Kentucky. It doesn't have as much of a convenience as it is in New York, because if I want dinner, I have to go out and travel a little bit.
Right.
In New York, you just cross the street. You get dinner, you get groceries, you get everything. You come back home, and that's it. You don't even need a car.
Yeah.
You just go out, come back, do it within like 15 minutes. Easy. Here in Kentucky, it's like a whole adventure and a half, and then you have like wild turkeys and cows trying to fight you on your way, and it's different. It's a culture shock for me, but I've been trying to manage it and keep up with it. I've been here for 5 months already, but I don't really have time to play games outside of streaming. So
every time I go out, kind of like out of the city type area, okay, it never fails. I run across a damn snake. Have you seen any snakes since you moved to Kentucky?
No, I haven't yet, not yet. But I've seen a lot of bugs, and they're huge.
Yeah, that's for sure too.
I went outside for the first time. You know, when I came here, I bought a chair so I can, you know, just sit outside. You know, in my backyard, I could just sit there and just enjoy the weather. And the first day that I did that, I saw this green and orange flying bug of some sort that was the size of my palm. And I was like, nope, I'm going back inside. I don't know what that is. I've never seen it before. So I went back inside. It was terrifying. I don't understand. Like the bugs in New York, we just got rats and then we got like roaches.
Yeah.
That's it. Kentucky has like monsters over here. It's insane. But I haven't seen a snake yet.
Do you have fireflies there?
Yes, we do.
I think that's kind of neat, you know, when you're, like you said, sitting out in the backyard at night, you know what I mean? And, or maybe just who knows, looking out the window and you see, you know, the landscape and you see these little fireflies flying around, you know, I always got such a kick out of seeing those, you know?
Yeah, those guys they're pretty cool. I remember when I was younger, because we had fireflies in New York as well.
Oh, okay.
So catch them and put them in jars. You know?
Yeah, that's right. So,
yeah, you put them in jars and they fly around, and then you let them go. Keep them there too long, they end up dying. So.
Well, I was the kind of guy that, you know, I'd take them to my bedroom and set them on the deal, and then I'd wake up in the morning and they're all dead, you know. And
oh my God, Tony, you're supposed to let them go at night.
I'd feel so terrible, you know. I'd go crying to my dad, Dad, how do I get these fireflies to come back? But I thought maybe you could charge them up with the electricity or something, you know.
Charge. You're gonna Frankenstein some lightning bugs.
Yeah, it's, life's crazy. It really is. Do you have goals that you have set as a streamer?
Goals. That's tough because for me, I kind of just want to keep moving forward and see how far I can take it. You know, I don't know if you've ever like, have you ever played like a game where you have to survive for like X number of days? You know you can't beat it because there's no end goal. It's just how long you can survive in that one game.
Mm-hmm. I never have.
Like maybe, or like you have to fight like there's like a boss rush mode and you just have to keep beating bosses and see how far you get until you know.
Yeah.
You finally get like beaten by one boss. That's kind of how I feel with Twitch. I want to see how far I can go with it. You know, there's some things that I want to do that I wish that I could like probably reach. If I reach it, cool. But after I reach that, I'm gonna keep going. You know, because that's not the stop. You know, I would love to eventually, you know, work for Twitch and do something regards to like, you know, charity with Twitch.
Wow, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be awesome. But after that, I want to keep moving forward. You know, I want to keep doing different things. I want to eventually like have made personality either on television or radio.
Yeah.
You know, I want to keep moving forward with it. Where it's gonna take me, I have no idea. But all I know is that I'm gonna see how far it takes me and see what happens. So in regards for goals, I mean, I'm just here at the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, hey, but you know, every time I see your channel, it's getting bigger. You know what I mean? And now when I talk about you, people know who you are. You know what I mean? And I mean, seriously, you know, I have a ton of friends. You know, I mean, earlier we were talking, and you knew Baca's name. You know what I mean? You know, so obviously he sticks out to you when you know, in the stream. You know, and I think that's cool. One of my best friends actually watches your channel, and he does because he tells me, you know what I mean, about things, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I really like that, you know. So anyway, we've been gossiping for a long time, and we're probably at the 3-hour mark or something like that right now, and it's been really, really fun, and it's, you know, I feel like we just met yesterday, but yet I've known you forever. Does that make sense?
It does. It's like it was just yesterday. We just, you know, we were just hanging out and talking, and you were rating me, and I was rating you. You know, you were still doing your thing, you know. And it really, I mean, you still are doing it.
It shocks me that, you know, how much you know. Well, first off, that I like you a lot. You're a good guy. But secondly,
thank you.
It shocks me how far you've come, and I'm really, really impressed with that. And hell, I wouldn't be surprised to see you knock old Dr. Disrespect off in the next month or two, you know. So
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. If we make it there, we make it there, you know. We can be the next top dog, you know. Right now, we got like Dr. Disrespect. Those guys are like, you know, they're the top dogs at Twitch. Maybe one day I'll reach it, you know. And if I do, that's great. You know, that's awesome. Because I can do a lot with that, you know, for both charity and just for the community as a whole. If I don't reach it, I mean, hey, I don't reach it. It's cool because we can still do a lot without reaching that point. You know,
No, that's one of the things I always liked about you. You're just a happy guy. You know what I mean? And it's yeah, I think you're one of those people that doesn't take a lot to make you happy. You know, and anything else is just like a blessing. You know.
I mean, that's how I like to treat it. You know, I woke up this morning, so you know I'm happy. So that's one of those things that started my day off right.
Have you ever thought about streaming a different game?
Ooh, I have, and I've tried, and then my community was like, I don't like this. I've tried branching off to different games times, and my community has made it very clear that we don't like this. I mean, some of them stay for me, you know, but I'll go from like 100 views on average to maybe 40.
Right.
You know, and it's a huge you know down step.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a matter of like, you know, people say they don't like it. So I mean, what am I to do? What am I to say? I don't want people to feel, you know, unhappy, because I know a lot of people expect, you know, Resident Evil from me, and they're excited to see it, you know, and sometimes it's the best part of their day, and I never want to take that from somebody. Yeah. So it's just one of those things that, you know, I might play a game that they're not interested in, and then they're like, oh man, well, I guess I could try watching this, but it's not going to be as fun because, you know, it's a different community and a different atmosphere. So I mean, I've tried it, but they've made it known that they don't really like it too much. You know? Yeah,
I understand. And like you're like me, you're attached to the people in your channel. You know what I mean? Really, they're like family. You know, and you know, who wants to you know, like move to, I don't know, the desert in Arizona, and you don't know one single person, and in fact, there are no people. That's what it's almost like, you know, when you change like that, and then you're kind of stuck, you know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I call everybody in my community fam, because they're like my extended family. I spend a lot of my time talking to these people every day. You know, you grow some connections with them. You know, there's people who are, you know, are sick, and you know, they're like, hey, you know, I got an operation tomorrow. You know, I get nervous for them. I get worried, you know, and I tell them, hey, you know, when you're well and you're well rested, you'll come back in and let us know what happens. You know, we would like to know, and we would like to heal from you. You know, there's people coming in saying, hey, you know, like, you know, I'm pregnant and we have a baby on the way, and you know, I'm excited for them, because you know, they're having another member of their family, you know, come to life, and it's something that's exciting to hear, especially like all the good news. But I you know, I genuinely care about my community, and I consider them family. They're like my extended family, you know.
Now, do you do a lot of preparation before you start your stream?
I would be lying if I said I didn't. I do. So you know how I have like I mean, you've seen it. You rated me tonight, and I did like
I can prove to you I know all about it. Hey, first I knew your background, right? I mean, the green screen. But you at one time you were wearing the coolest hat in the whole world, okay?
Oh man, that hat was dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You know, I was wondering, does it have batteries in it, or what's the deal? You know,
it has batteries, but it's an actual light. So for the people who don't know what we're talking about, I used to wear this bowler hat with a light bulb on top of it, and it actually lit up, and it was an actual light bulb. It used to get really hot, and I tried to make sure that I wasn't wearing it too much, because I felt like the top of my head was getting like singed. So imagine a young guy in his 20s has hair everywhere else, but just like a really like just a patch of no hair right here. So that was one thing that like kind of scared me a bit. I have hair there, so you know, I stopped using it beforehand. But another thing is, I try to like, you know, you have to turn it on with a switch in the bottom, so it's kind of uncomfortable. And I went to like, you know, turn it off. But, you know, on stream while I was speedrunning, I tried to turn it off, but with one hand, and it kind of like fell on my neck, and it just like sizzled here a bit. And I was like on stream in pain. And somebody clipped it. It's somewhere out there. So if you look for it, you'll find it. But I had to stop using it because it was just a health hazard. And I was like, I can't use this anymore because this is dangerous.
Yeah. And it singed. Oh my God.
It singed. You know, I could have sworn I heard crackle. I smelled some bacon for a little bit, but it was pretty bad.
Everybody asks me, do you ever set your beard on fire with a cigarette, you know? Oh my God. So I never have, but I mean, I don't want to either, you know?
I mean, hey, you know, if it happens one day, I mean, just I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you can try to put it out. I guess it'll be easy, right? You could just just do one of those things, right?
Yeah. Now, what days and what times do you stream?
So I stream from Monday through Thursday, from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 9 p.m. Central, or CST rather. So 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then 9 p.m. CST, and that's Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I have to leave it for the lady because I gotta spend time with her too.
Yeah.
I don't want her to get angry at me. Also, Tony, earlier you asked me if I was single, and just saying, Tony, I'm not single.
No, I know you're a dedicated man who's in love with one woman, and you hope to spend the rest of your life with her because she's the greatest. I know that about you, and I've heard you say that many times. Okay, so I was the same way when I was married. My wife died. Okay, so it's not like she dumped me, and you know what I'm saying. Okay, I honestly thought I was the luckiest guy in the world just to be with her. You know what I mean? And I know that's how you feel. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, we have a place together. Maybe in the future. Hopefully, maybe soon. Maybe later down the line. I don't know yet.
You can tell I'm trying to clean that up for you, right?
I know. I see. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would love to settle down with her. I genuinely think she's that person for me.
Yeah.
But I hope that she'll accept me and maybe say yes when I ask.
Hell yeah.
I don't know when, but we'll see. We'll see. We have TwitchCon coming up, and I think it would be nice, right?
Yeah.
To do it at the place where it started in California.
Yeah.
And ask her,
I think that's cool as hell.
That'd be nice. People like that stuff too. It's sweet and it shows that I remember. And I mean, we'll see. We'll figure it out. Maybe.
Yeah. Now they have 2 TwitchCons a year, right? Now, isn't one in like Texas? I think sometimes or.
There's the big TwitchCon is in California. That's where the convention's. They have a lot of different little meet and greets or meetups, like Twitch meetups all around the world. So they have one in like, Canada. They got one in like, the UK. They got one in New York City. They got one in St. Louis. They have them all over the place. They got a Chicago one, which is pretty big too. But the biggest one that people, you got to get tickets for. The other ones you don't. You just kind of show up and then you show up. But the big one that you need tickets for is the one in California, the TwitchCon, because they rent out a whole convention center.
Yeah.
The ones for the meetups, they'll rent out like a restaurant or just like a little small community center. But the one in California, it's like a big venue and it lasts 3 days and it's great. It's great.
Well, I've seen film of it. You know what I mean? I've seen streamers that have gone there. I've watched, like an hour of them walking around and going here and going there. And I watched one with Ice Poseidon getting kicked out or getting. They made him stay in a room for a little while because I don't know, he was causing riots or something. Not him, but just him being there. But so it looked like a really cool thing. And I lived in California 39 years, so I know exactly where that spot is, and I even know some people that live right by there.
You should definitely come out. I would love to get to meet you at TwitchCon.
Yeah,
and shake your hand or give you a hug or whatever you're willing. Some people don't like hugs, so. No,
I look, believe me, I don't trip on all that BS. You know what I mean? It's of course I'd want to give my old buddy a hug. Okay. We've been talking, like I said, for about 3 hours now. I'm going to have to go ahead and cut the interview off, but thanks you so much, man, and you are so fun to talk to. I hope in the future you'll say, hey, it was fun, and you'll come back and see me again. And
hey, if you ever need me to come back on, you know where to find me.
Right.
If you're having a slow day and you're like, who can I bring on that we can bullshit with for about another 3 hours or so, just call me on. We'll make it a 4-part or a 3-part or however long you want to talk for.
Hey, Bobochet, thank you so much for being a great guy, man, and thank you so much for being on the show today. Before we sign off, I want to see if I can get you to do a big Yahoo with me, okay? so
I can try.
All right.
I can try.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Yahoo! 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 Hell Yeah. Hey, thank you so much and have a great night, man. Everybody, thank you guys for tuning in tonight and have a great show. Bobochet, #1. Yahoo!
Yahoo, Tony.
Good night.